right on the river along the quarries, and it blew up in the north. Which is nice to drive out of it instead of to go in a no hurry, just when you get a minute, you can sign them, I'll make copies of everyone's bylaws.
So, yeah, I'm failing to make sure that. Yes, this is what I need to do for this day. So I usually would eat when I get home after here. By the time I get home, I'm not even hungry anymore. Too late, go ahead.
I have not heard from him. She said Ellen is one way, or she
Or she just passed by him.
Oh, you saw
He was going one way, or she was.
Okay. Do you have his number? Do you want to text him?
I don't know if I got this number. I think anybody have it.
I'll think about it when I'm on the beach.
At least a few months out.
About one time, I was looking for the Chinese, yeah, like that.
You'll be here. Oh, jeez. Interesting. Oh, so exciting.
Yeah, and he still had it in his too.
Yeah.
Got two houses up here, so.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh, I didn't do that yet.
Took it off, thinking he.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, I did too. Took it out, put it away.
This is something.
Maybe not. Well, we can get Howard, even if Alan's not here. Okay.
You know,
Pops and late, that's fine.
you give me cold. Amazing what that is.
There he is. There's the door. For everyone?
I did.
I mean, I ask you this all the time.
Front porch
Tonight's
tonight.
the big meeting in the city of Oswego. We're gonna have a public forum.
Alright, sorry we're a few minutes late, but we're all here, and so we're gonna start. If mine's signing down, that'd be great.
He wants to talk to,
This is not working.
so somebody's already talked about conflict of interest thing. Because he said,
I'm familiar, I've had this happen before, so maybe just unplug it, start again.
But there's, yeah, I turned it off and got it on, but it's not showing that. Maybe here. Oh, it's on.
Hey, Dan. You know anything about this recorder?
What's that?
Do you know anything about this recorder?
Yeah, it's used to record the minutes.
It's not working.
Oh, it's not? I've never used it.
That means you gotta take shorthand.
I remember having trouble with it.
Is it possible that it's got a dead battery or dead batteries?
Unplug.
You gotta push that,
These are the speakers. You turn it off and on.
There was last night, right?
And where's the?
Yeah.
You're gonna try and play with it? Okay.
Oh, this is a map.
Yeah, especially in the it's just got that thing on the screen.
Maybe that's like, I've had problems in the
It'll say in here.
You'll hear it when it comes on.
Here, I'm gonna turn it on again.
It just made a
She does
noise.
a lake shore.
Hold on, made a noise.
They usually turn it on.
Pretty much super
Let's give you
lake
the. I wonder if somebody, where did it turn red?
Oh, the button turns on. She never has problems.
Goes a cow.
That's pretty cool. I think she has them for.
Oh, okay. Cause I've asked her. Hey.
What do you want?
This recorder's not working.
You never know where your lights are.
It's just got like a, hourglass thing on the
Oh,
screen.
the distance is set like distance. You get ready to be a grand.
Yeah, we unplugged it, we turned it on and off a few times.
They're living, stopping their faces and. They're not calling it out.
Yeah, every time they run, it says hourglass on the screen and none of the buttons do anything and. Oh, wait, hold on. Nope.
But I missed.
What did I just punch? Display or device.
She does a little bit, but the old big guy, really good. Then the existing structure doesn't sit perpendicular to the side. It doesn't look like. They're not, my son's are next door.
What does that do? Moving it now and it's not doing
This is 52, this building is 52.4, so they're saying it's 54.4. Is that the?
when I move it, it doesn't run here, it says.
52.26. Oh, they're running it the other way, it's 24, and it's gonna be 26, that makes sense now. The house runs this way, not this way.
There you go.
And the red light.
That's the noise right there.
Now it's already showing that it's recording letters.
If I snore.
Yeah, so they're showing 13 feet here.
Well, as soon as it came up, it was already recording. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit new and we'll start over. Okay, thank you. All right, bye. Card. You see, I heard about me on here. Just put the card off, put it back in, and now it's working. All right. We're all set with that card. Yeah, I got it. Pop right in there. I have a recorder on my phone.
Well, it's on the sides, yeah, the lake. Here you are. Box fan. use that one.
It just has planning.
All together.
We can make,
I put this right here.
Are you ready?
approve the minutes, right?
Just the 4 pages?
Awesome. Okay, that's, anyway, those are my thoughts. It's up to you.
Did you, there was a, yeah, trunks.
Okay, so we can begin the meeting. Roll call? Okay,
Let me check my prayer. It's still current.
Okay. You'll have to call it over here once I say.
no worries. We can begin the meeting, at 6:10 and, roll call?
All right, we got Karen Valentino?
Yes.
Mike Cattouli?
Yes.
Cindy Gaggo?
Yes.
Melissa Wendy?
Yes.
Alan Chase?
Yes.
Sue Ann Tyke?
Yes. All right, so we want to, all right, we want you to look at and review the, minutes from the February meeting, please.
And after looking at the, what we had for the basis consideration for the, which plan was that for?
The San Ramon.
Okay. Was a couple things that we needed to add, or, one of the things was that the, shed on the eastern edge of the property is gonna be removed as part of the basis consideration. Also that there was a letter from, one of the neighbors in support of the project.
That's in there. I think the one, who has the eastern neighbor who's,
Who's not opposed to the
and,
project, and there's a letter also in support.
Right there, it says email from two neighbors. On page two, page two.
Is that under the basis of consideration though?
We can add it in there. Yeah, again, if that's your one item.
specifically, I think also it was the neighbor with the closest prop, where the 5 foot,
Yeah, that was the eastern neighbor, so that
yes,
one was
the
on there,
eastern
but
neighbor.
you want,
That they provided a letter in addition to.
Right.
they're
yeah,
not
that's
opposed.
included too.
Right.
Right there.
eastern neighbor on here.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright, so just tell me what you want me to add, how you want it written.
Instead of saying, not opposed, I would just say that there was a letter, of support on the proposed project. Right?
And that,
From the eastern neighbor, or you want it from two neighbors? Or you want, two neighbors.
Right.
Two others. Even though the names are the same. They just okay. Their neighbors. Provided letter of support.
and the shed that was gonna be removed is currently over the property boundary, so it gets rid of that problem.
Okay. Anything else on that?
The houses in the neighborhood, does it say that they're similar, like there's, he had shown an image with multiple houses, I think it was at least 4 properties with, houses
Yeah,
5 foot.
they all showed kind
So
of the same.
it's similar to the neighborhood.
Compatible.
Thank you.
Well, consistent, I think is the word that we choose,
Okay.
consistent with,
The neighborhood. The area. The area, thanks. There was also if you went to add at night, but the yard, the eastern property, it's not like there's a structure close to that 5-foot, property boundary. There's a wide yard and the houses on the other side of that eastern boundary. Do you know what I'm saying? Right here. It's up to you, I mean, it's, you were given images.
Right.
That's on page 2 also. The current,
That's what I was looking for, I was
proposed
just
new
trying to figure out
house.
how to write it, add it in there, where is that?
Property to the east of the camper and a home in the property to the east of the camper.
Because it's like one whole plot there that's open. How do you wanna word it on?
The property to the east has substantial area before the home in the camper, something like that.
Substantial open
Area
area,
or lawn,
lawn area between those,
and a camper and home on their property.
I think it's a.
Yes, a camper and a home.
I think it's a different kind of permanent structure, I think it's kind of different. It looks like a weird, well, hopefully they can-
Yeah.
the camper might actually get used on that.
Oh,
Alright, anything else?
Corrections to the, February minutes.
I didn't say that.
I make a motion that we, accept the, minutes for the, February meeting.
I second it.
Karen Valentino,
Abstain.
Mike DeFuly,
Yes.
Cindy Gaibo,
Actually, I should abstain too.
Melissa Wendy.
Yes.
Alan Chase,
Yes.
do we have? We've got 3, so we're done. Alright, we're done.
I did see it. Chapters.
So we're gonna, skip over the old business of the site plan review for now. So that we can, take care of new business first. And, Jean Privet has an application for variance in, and so Jean, if you can tell us about, your application, that'd be great.
So the current structure, is just seasonal, and with the building and the camp and the garage, it's 52 feet long. And then there's a shed on it right now, but, the building I wanna put on there, the manufactured home, is also 52 feet long, so it wouldn't be any longer, it would just take up that space. But the variance is for the width, presently the camp is 24 feet wide, and, no, yeah.
24, yes.
24, and the building, is wider, so that's why we're coming to you.
So,
26.8, so it's about 2.5 feet wider.
26, okay, that, so 26.8 is the new?
Yeah.
measure, and you did provide this, and I appreciate that.
Yes,
Alright, so 2 feet 8 inches
correct.
wider, 2 feet 8 inches wider, and, okay, so I like your diagram, by the way, and, but, okay, so I pulled mine out of the packet so I could stick it together.
You wanna, sorry, I couldn't.
So, but my question is,
Okay.
so, the length is the same here,
Yep.
alright. see if I can hold it, apparently I can't, I should've brought tape. So it's the same length, which way is it 2 feet, wider? Is it towards the lake or is it towards the road?
It'll have to be towards the lake because of the septic system.
Okay, the septic system, is that marked on here?
No.
Where is your septic system?
Right where the 52.4 on that line, it's like right on the other side of the line. It would be there, between the camp and the road.
Okay, between the camp and the road,
Correct.
there's that,
About 13 feet.
oh, I see, the 13.23?
Yes.
Somewhere in there, okay, that's your septic.
Oh, here it is.
How many, I don't see on the map, how many feet is the, current structure right now to the, riprap of the lake, approximate?
I'd say 30 feet. You've got the deck, and then there's a lawn, and then there's, mafia blocks, I call them mafia blocks, I don't know what they're called. Blocks, and then there's a 10-foot concrete pad, and then the metal wall.
Okay,
Is the
So
deck
it's
staying?
The deck will be, yes, deck is staying. But, I mean, it'll have to be moved and put back, but yes.
So the deck will be 2 feet closer to the lake as well?
Yes.
Or 2 feet, 8,
Two,
let's
right.
say 3, just to make it easier, okay, 2.5.
And are they two parcels, 15 and 16?
Correct.
You said there's two parcels, 16 and 15, but you only went down one
I
parcel.
think it's one tax parcel, but it's lot 15 and lot 16.
Okay, so they're
double
lots,
lot.
okay,
It's
okay. So number 17, is that Ingersoll's or is it,
Ingersoll,
and then 14, is that Robert Ingersoll?
yes.
the addition that you have on the side of it, is that coming off?
We haven't decided. Probably.
And you would not be moving it if it does stay?
No.
Okay.
See the one point on the front side of the house towards the road, it's 13.23 feet to a line. What is that line? It's not the road,
And it's to the edge of the right of way.
So there's a line on the western side that has 88 feet. It says M, which I assume is not meters, if it's got a little dash for feet. But, and that is to the lake, is that correct? The lake to the road?
Yes.
Alright,
That's actually 88 feet.
then,
The M is for measured,
oh, thank you.
and if you see the 94.41 D, that
Yeah.
means deed. So the deed
Okay.
says 94.41, but when the surveyor measures it, it's actually only 88.
Okay, so,
I own part of it.
very, so very, looking at your numbers, but, so if that's to the lake, the 88, which is the measurement, now I'll subtract out 24 feet, because that's the width of your current structure, and then subtract another 13 for that distance from, to the road, and I think that you actually have more space there. It looks like it should be 51 feet to the lake. You just told us 30, but, you know, from the end of your structure to what looks like the end of that arrow, am I looking at that correctly, anybody? Here, I'll show you.
It's deceiving because it's at an angle,
It is, but still,
but yeah, I agree with you in rough numbers. I was trying to study this to figure out how we tell exactly. but-
yeah, so I just took this and said that's 24 feet, it's the equivalent right there, that's 13. So I think that's actually 51 feet,
You're
not
close.
30.
Okay.
And it's not to the riprap, it's to the lake edge. Looking at the numbers on this, but, okay.
I apologize, I didn't have the exact.
No, that's okay, it's to your benefit, that your number, huh?
The eastern side rear corner is gonna be closer to the property line.
Yes, she's looking at
This
that.
now.
She's saying that it's 88 feet minus 26 feet.
No, here.
Oh,
Oh,
that's.
she's talking about side setback.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be
By
closer
widening
too.
two more feet will make it slightly less on
Oh,
the side
good catch,
setback.
good catch, good catch, okay, yes, I agree with you there
Gotcha.
for sure. If that's 2 feet
Oh,
from that,
well within the
yes,
parameters.
alright, so that would be like 17 feet from the property line on that corner,
I measured on the county just now,
Not even that.
about 48
Yep.
feet.
okay,
That water's back
alright, and it's a little further on the other side,
somewhere.
where the corner would be,
Somewhere.
alright.
And the easterly distance on the property is 104 feet.
Yes, so that's even quite a difference there. Okay, so that one doesn't even seem to have a problem. Okay. So now we are going, pardon me. So from 51 feet, then she would need to be, again, 2 foot 8 inches closer, plus the deck is another concern. 14, I think I wrote through it, 14.15 feet. Alright.
Looks like you were commenting on this being in a wetland or something. Is this on the coastal erosion map?
She doesn't, I don't think you, do you pay flood insurance?
I do not pay for
No, the DEC states she does. When I printed out the secret form, off the DEC website, I checked, yes.
What are they calling it? Is it in the coastal erosion or is it?
No, no,
It says yes on the 100-year floodplain.
question I got is, are we, we talk about setback from Lake Ontario, what part of the lake? When the water's way down, the water's way up, where her existing property goes, out into the lake? Cause it's, I mean, it shows here, it looks like our property goes out into the lake. I mean, I don't know. It's a interpretation, I don't know. Are we going off the riprap, are we going off the water?
High water mark. Mean high water mark, is that the 147 line?
But the law states from Lake Ontario,
Right.
that's it. It doesn't say high water, low water.
So we
Doesn't
define
say
it.
anything. And unfortunately, people own in that lake, their ways, some people do, so just take that into consideration too. Put your base on it off them, I think we talked about this last meeting.
I think the existing shoreline is, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it and, get that reading in October, and November, and December. Even January, when the water really goes down.
Right.
That's November, November of 30.
So, because your property, is wider, not wider, a further distance from the lake on the eastern side compared to the western side, where it says it's 88 feet versus, 104 feet from the lake. Where your deck falls, I approximate, it's at least another 10 inches, 10 feet of distance from the lake where that deck is, compared to, the edge, the, westernmost edge. So, I mean, I'm
10
estimating.
feet closer.
She's got, it's, that distance here, like the house is
Okay.
10 feet further away here than it is here. That would be my guess, that's 10 feet at least, since it's, 20 feet here further from the lake. So the deck, it's a matter, it's not, I mean, we can't look at it all at the same distance, cause so.
But this is at an angle.
It's at an angle, exactly, so at least that's how, oh my gosh, I'm already not, so I think it's about 51 feet to the edge of the house here, about 61 feet here, and like 71 feet there. So I'm thinking, when we're looking at the extra size of that deck, some of it is offset by, it's further from the lake, not all of it. All right. What other questions do you want to ask?
Do you have any way, one of the challenges I see is you're asking for a setback, of 2 feet, or a reduced setback from the lake of 2 feet, but we don't know for sure what it is now. Short of hiring a surveyor, do you have any method that, is the manufactured home company coming out to spot anything, or is there any way of coming up with a more definitive number that you're currently 33 feet and you wanna be 34, or anything like that, but.
I mean, yes, the manufactured home company is gonna be coming out to do a site, evaluation. I mean, what measurement are you actually looking for? I mean, I can go out and,
Well, so what we're gonna ultimately be asked to do is to change your lake to, what is that called, lakefront setback, I guess? The distance that you can build from the lake. You're asking us to allow 2 more feet.
Right.
But we're gonna have to pass a resolution that describes that. And to describe it as just 2 more feet, we kinda need to say that you're currently 30 feet and that the law requires 50 and we're going to allow a variance for 2 more, giving you 32. But we're talking about this kinda just going, well, we think you've got whatever.
Oh,
But
okay.
to our code enforcement officers, saying it, the way it's defined in our law is to the lake shore, which, what does that mean? Is that where the water is, or is it where the stone ends, or whatever, but?
So it looks like the measurements, I think that you're looking for is actually there, and it's this right here, this 88 right there.
Mhm.
And it goes to the road to the water's edge, and over here, this line goes, 104 feet. And what Rebecca was saying is that this was the measured amount.
Correct, yep, I
So,
agree.
okay, so I mean, it looks like she's actually not 30, but this edge of this property is 51 from,
Based on what, you're getting that
basically,
from?
oh, I
because you're-
subtracted out the house, which was 24 feet wide, and
Right.
then this is about 13 over here. So you can just say this and this house, which comes to right about there, and then just subtract it from the 88.
Right. Get you
So
close.
I think it's a rough enough, an accurate enough number for us to work with, if you guys
Karen,
agree.
you're close, cause I looked on the county, there's a measuring device on the
Okay.
county. I come up with about 49
Or
feet.
you should be able to,
You're-
you should be able to call Scott Whitaker, the surveyor, and he should be able to give you those distances based on, you know, he's done the map, he's done the scale. You know what I mean, he could figure out the scale and tell you what because they often will note the distance, not just from one corner, but from all corners of the dwelling. I don't think that would be a difficult thing for him to calculate at all.
I'm comfortable with the numbers that we have, but it's up to you guys too. I think that is most reliable enough looking at this map, which is
What's the
the
current,
surveyor map.
I've read this 100 times, I should know right off the top of my head, what's the current setback from the lake that we have, 50 feet? 100?
100.
100?
Then you gotta look at what's currently, you know, what the neighbors are currently at. I can tell you right now, down there, you're lucky if you have 25 feet, 20 feet some places from the edge of the water.
I would agree with that. I was gonna say I have the best yard down there, you know, most.
My daughter's place is
Between
down
there.
there, so,
Yeah, Erica?
Erica,
Yeah.
Alan, the surveyor does have on the bottom, the scale is 1 inch equals 20 feet.
So I'm gonna scale it, well, but how was it printed? Well, it doesn't show, a scale 1 inch equals 20 feet, but that's on whatever it was printed on. It may have been printed sized larger or smaller.
Pull this,
If it showed a scale there, then you could,
Yeah.
you pull this right here.
look at you go.
That's my kind of measurement.
Let me- So do you have a similar number?
She came up with 45-ish,
Okay.
just,
From the deck.
Oh, from the deck, okay.
we'll go to the closest point over here,
Yep.
from that point right there. Yeah, that's more,
That actually matches what I would have, since I was looking.
well, no, cause that's the riprap, yeah. Oh yeah, that's 55. Sold.
It's a complication now, Alan, you put the laptop, do you know how to do the measuring on the county website?
Oh, heck no.
You go to the real property, the county real property. Is that where you were talking about, Taylor?
These are the baseline.
Yeah,
I was trying to find
yeah,
the,
click right on the login,
the
oh, I,
coastal erosion, map. Because I think that may be the potential hangup, because that's a topic for later on in tonight's meeting.
there's a better name on it, double search.
Alright.
With that,
So Missy, you had from, the end of the deck to the, water's edge, it was 45? Using your scale, and using my guesstimating, I have 47 feet, so, and that's from the end of the deck.
You can click on any of these to put in the order too.
It'll be a one-story camp?
Yes.
Do you know what the piece would be gonna take up?
No,
It might be on them.
I wrote on,
It's definitely below 25 feet. Could it be on pillars?
yes,
Approximate crawl space underneath,
2 feet, I
2
think.
feet.
Remember we talked about it?
So you have 2 feet, and you add another foot of,
50 feet.
floor joists, 8 feet on top of that. And then probably,
We don't even have
512 pitch.
50 feet, 50-foot setback, it's 52.48, how about that?
And is it pretty much the same foundation, or
over here.
are you having something poured, something
You know, it's gonna be,
it's just raised?
Just raised.
That's what we got here. So the measurement, the closest corner of the house now to the lake is 52.42 feet.
Oh,
So we're
very
at
good.
2 point whatever feet, it's gonna be like.
48, it's right there, yeah, however accurate this is, but that's what it measured at.
It's usually pretty accurate.
And she needs 2.5 feet,
Wow.
how about that?
Thank you. It was actually,
It's like she planned it.
Little did you know.
okay, that's pretty cool. Alright. And so the deck might be also that's within our 50 right there, which is good. What are you looking at there, Alan?
She was asking what the distance was, we're on this other side, but.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
They're just playing now.
No, we're gonna need something for the east side,
Yep, I agree.
that's what he's doing over here. And he says it's only 13, this says 19.
I think it sounds like we're pretty well within a normal variance request, right?
Can you do the deck from,
I don't know how accurate this is, what do you wanna know?
well, the
Deck
same
to-
that you just did for the the western corner, which is the closest. But now the deck is the other thing that we need to look at, because she wants to keep it.
But then it's pre-existing, we don't have to do anything with that.
Well, it's gonna be.
It doesn't
It's
need
gonna
to
move.
show.
Oh, it's gonna be pushed out 2.5
Yeah.
feet, so we may have
2.8
to,
inches actually, 2.8 feet.
so it's, I mean, to the water edge, it's measuring like 42.5 on this.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Cause it's 15, so yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
52 minus 15. Somewhere in that window.
Are you building a new deck?
No,
Or
we're
completely
Just gonna
just
push
using
that one forward 2 feet.
sorry.
How much of a difference is it, definitely not here in the permanent structure?
If it's attached to the house, isn't that covered?
That's what I would do.
I think if it's not
Well, it might be
attached,
grandfather because it is moving closer.
That's true. That's what I'm looking for.
But again, it doesn't have to be a ditch.
No, it doesn't.
Not attached, no. It's not attached, no.
it isn't now.
That's why I think I can move it.
Okay, it's not attached.
It's not attached, no.
Is it on a foundation or anything, or is it just?
Blocks.
Oh, just on blocks, okay.
Oh.
But it doesn't have like a concrete?
No.
No.
Oh, it really is not a permanent structure
Yeah,
then? Okay,
yeah, I don't think that would matter because it's not. permanent
yeah,
structure.
I tend to agree, and
It's
Rebecca
not
can tell us.
enclosed, right? It's just an open deck.
Okay, I think it's very helpful.
And it is, I guess, would you be able to walk out of the house onto the deck? Or is it strictly?
Yes.
But it's not attached and it's on block, so it's something that could be
Yeah, so
removed.
we butt it up to the house so you could walk out onto it, but it's not a permanent structure attached to the house.
same footprint,
footprint
yeah.
on that one side.
Right,
I don't know if you need a variance to have that on that side.
for each side, I don't know.
The one side definitely need a variance on that side. Cause you're going closer.
Right. Let's go back up.
Let's see.
So as far as which variances, this is the same, right? So it's just grandfathered in.
So,
And then the question is, so this will be really, we have to grant variance there as well as.
well, if that is,
Right, this is, oh, is a potential, okay, that's a potential to stay. And it's a 15 is the, is a safe bet on that side as well as the other side. Alright,
Well, you had 15 feet.
Yep.
Plus the addition
yeah, I forgot about
of
the.
the 8.5 feet, so that's 23 and a half. By the time you get to this corner, even though we're coming out,
Mhm.
you're more than 25 feet
Over here, you're
Yes.
saying, right there.
to that corner of the new place.
Oh, the new place.
Do you want me to make a copy for you guys of it all on one page? Would that be helpful if you're not?
So
holding it?
currently, this is
What's up?
19, right there. So we go up a little further, it's
It's
going to get
probably 18.
narrower.
Did you have it
Yeah.
all on one?
Okay, and then over here,
Don't say anything important, I'm
this
gonna
is
go
the
make copies.
same, this is 15,
15 plus this 8.5,
right.
it's 23 and a half. So the distance
But
between,
this might stay right here.
yeah, it
So it's
stays,
still this distance.
right, still this distance, but this corner here is definitely more than
Uh,
25 feet, so we don't need to have a variance.
The top corner?
Oh, I see what you're saying,
Right.
okay, that's the corner we need to look
Right.
at, okay, you're 100% right.
West.
And I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I agree with you, so,
it's gonna be more than 25
Alright.
feet. So you don't need a variance for that
no
side.
variance for this because it's not moving, and this up here would be the corner, and that's fine. It's always 25 feet. Does that make sense to you?
this corner here.
No, because the actual new, I don't wanna mess up your diagram like mine looks, but the new building will be there, because it's a little wider.
2 feet.
Yep. So Mike's saying it's actually this distance plus this distance, plus a little bit more. So that would be, whatever
Yeah,
it
it's 23 and a half
said,
feet.
15, plus another 9, 24, it's always 25, I agree with you.
This is so
Okay.
much better.
Alright,
Thank you.
it's 24, so we should be okay on the western side. Thank you, yes, that is a lot
Way
easier,
better than that.
yes, thank you.
This is a totally different shape than I thought.
This side needs a variance. But it's gonna be, the 8-foot, rest of it is 20. And then just granting, because it's 2.5 foot closer, bigger, just granted 50 foot, okay, to the north for the house. And then the variance. No variance needed for the deck if it is, because it's not, attached, and it's off, it's not permanent. Alright, we'll ask Rebecca, I don't know, she's in.
Addition means the same, the addition's not moving.
And the addition's not moving, right?
Yeah, so that's fine.
It's grandfathered, I guess. So do you want me to say this again and see if everybody agrees?
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, our secretary's not ready. I couldn't even do it looking at these number of pages. It's making me crazy, I had to look them up. When do you think you'll be doing this? And you might have said that in the application.
I didn't say,
You did not.
once we get this, approval, that it takes about 4 months
Okay.
for this year.
You know what happened to that job?
Yes, she had to give her a copy of this for herself.
Oh,
So she doesn't have it.
yeah.
For what it's worth, I looked it up on the coastal erosion map,
Okay.
and the DEC has that as a non-erosion area, they have no setback at all.
Wow. That's great.
She'll-
Okay, I hear.
Around with this thing.
Oh, right, right.
I'm sorry, wait.
Alright, so I just wanted to summarize and we'll see if everyone agrees or if we think other stuff is needed. But it looks like, after our discussion and looking at these numbers, that, there's no variance needed on the south, the new structure will be in the same location. No variance on the west, because the new location, the location of the new building is actually gonna be, more than 25 feet from the western property boundary. And again, looking at just adding together that addition plus the distance, the house already is more than 25 feet. Are you guys okay with
You
that?
mean 20 feet, right?
What am I saying, the wrong thing? 20 feet?
It's more than 25 feet
Yeah,
on the west side.
so, we need to be 25 foot or 25 property.
You only needed 20 feet actually.
20, okay, I'm using the wrong number then. Thank you. More than 20 feet. The variance on the, east side is, it looks like she's gonna be about, 17 feet, so we're gonna give a 3-foot variance on the east side. And then then, the variance is to the north, for the house, it looks like it's
50%.
52.5 feet from the lake, and we're gonna say a 50-foot, variance for the, northern side of the house. And then the addition, not the addition, the deck is not attached, it's on block, so therefore it's not a permanent structure, and, no variance needed for that. The addition as well is not moving, so we don't need to address that, it's fine. Do you think those numbers are okay? Or do we need to adjust anything?
Sounds
Alright.
correct. For the north, you said it's 52.5 feet, so what'd you say the variance?
We're
Would you
saying
go-
it's a 50-foot variance. Are we off by a few inches? Perhaps? Because it's 100 foot is the law.
Right, so then wouldn't it be a 47.5 variance?
No,
Well,
It's 52 and a half,
52
it
and a
measures
half.
now, we need to drop it down to.
Oh, right, we gotta take,
She's
okay,
gonna take another two,
okay, gotcha.
2.8.
Gives her a whole .4 to play with. Don't put molding on there now.
Okay.
good advice.
I'm
Alright,
sure Ron's gonna come down there.
Did you mention the
take
deck
that
too? We've gotta
measure.
put a number in there for the deck variance, right? Or did you not?
the deck isn't because it's not a permanent
Not
structure.
Oh, it
It's-
doesn't need it?
Yep,
Perfect,
it's not attached to the house and it's
Okay.
on block.
perfect.
So we can go through the short environmental assessment form and, make a motion for a few things, as well as, set a public hearing, if that sounds okay. Alright. So I will start reading through. And, this, for the application, does the proposed action, only involve the legislative adoption of a plan, local law, ordinance, administrative rule, or regulation? This says, yes, I don't know if that is true.
I think it's no.
Yes, I think that should be no as well.
So it should be no?
Yeah.
Correct.
Does the proposed action require a permit, approval, or funding from another government agency? No, but we will make, no, we don't have to make a referral to the.
I wanted to step back on the project location.
Mhm.
That should have the Butterfly Shores Road, not the Munker Hill.
Okay, and this is where?
Oh, is that,
Cover page,
Project location.
Project location.
where are you seeing that?
Oh, it's on the short environmental
Part one,
form.
on
Oh,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
Page
You.
286 Munker Hill.
Butterfly.
It should be
What's,
Butterfly.
286 butterfly.
Yep, 286,
is it 286?
thank you.
Mhm.
She had the right number, just the wrong.
Yeah.
room.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah, gotcha.
that's where I live, so it's.
I know, the same number, 286?
No,
Okay.
221.
Oh, that was
Okay.
221
I see.
down below.
Good
Oh,
catch.
there it is, yeah.
Thank you. All right, and again, with the lake shore, does it automatically need to go to the DEC?
According to Ron, it doesn't fall under the
Yeah, it doesn't.
category, so.
Okay. 3, a total acreage of the site of the proposed action is 90 by 100 acres. That doesn't sound quite right. I assume that's 90 by 100 feet. And that would be okay. Check all the land uses that occur or adjoining or near the proposed action. What's that? Aquatic for sure, let's hit aquatic and, residential.
How about rural though? I think it's rural.
It's rural. Yep, that works too. Is the proposed action permitted use under the zoning regulations, not applicable, consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan, not applicable? Is the proposed action consistent with the predominant character of the existing built or natural landscape? Yes. Is the site of the proposed action located in or does it adjoin a state listed critical environmental area? No. Will the proposed action result in a substantial increase in traffic above present levels? No. Are public transportation services available at or near the site of the proposed action? No. Are any pedestrian accommodations or bicycle routes available on or near the site of the proposed action? No. Does the proposed action meet or exceed the state energy code requirements? And it says no. Should I be, I think we want yes. I think it's or exceeds. Will the proposed action connect to any existing public or private water supply? Yes. Will the proposed action connect to existing wastewater utilities? I'm gonna say septic out there, right?
Septic.
So yeah, so you are not connecting to a utility, you're using your septic.
But
If
but I
noticed-
have public water.
Oh, that doesn't,
Right,
that's not,
That's number 10.
not what
Okay,
you're for.
okay.
Okay. So we're gonna say you have a septic system. Alright, does the proposed site contain or is it substantially contiguous to a building, archaeological site or district which is listed on the National or State Register of Historic Places or that has been determined by the Commissioner of the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation and Historic Preservation to be eligible for listing on the State Register of Historic Places? No. Is the project site or any portion of it located in or adjacent to an area designated as sensitive for archaeological sites on the New York State Historic Preservation Office Archaeological Site Inventory? No. Does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands adjoining the proposed action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by a federal, state, or local agency? Yes. Would the proposed action physically alter or encroach into any existing wetland or water body? I do believe no,
No.
is the answer there. Identify the typical habitat types that occur on or are likely to be found on a project site, check all that apply, and we do have shoreline. Does the site of the proposed action contain any species of animal or associated habitats listed by the state, federal governments as threatened or endangered? And yes, it
I
was
would say no.
the lead, it
Those two
auto-populated,
birds,
it came in.
the two birds,
Yes, the least bitter and then the pie filled.
they're
So,
always down there.
Yeah, those are autofillers.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Is the project site located in a 100-year floodplain? Yes. Will the proposed action create stormwater discharge either from point or non-point sources? No. Does the proposed action include construction of any other activities that could result in the impoundment of water or other liquids, such as retention ponds, waste lagoon, or a dam? No. Has the site of the proposed action or an adjoining property been the location of an active or closed solid waste management facility? No. And has the site of the proposed action or an adjoining property been the subject of remediation, ongoing or completed for hazardous waste? No. Alright.
Now, question 13A, it does say wetland here,
Okay,
digital mapping, so it says yes,
okay.
we have to change that.
We can say shoreline and wetlands. Alright.
Number 14 and number 13A.
14 is.
And 13A does say yes. 14, that's it. Shoreline and wetland.
Okay. You want to make a motion to declare the type of action that this is. And, I'm inclined to think, or actually, if we need a motion, to see if the lead agency, yes, thank you.
Oh, yeah, we gotta
We
do
should
that
have done,
first.
yeah, we need to do lead agency.
That's you.
Does someone wanna make a motion for us to be the lead agency?
I'll make a motion that, we are trying to be an agency on this project.
I second it.
Karen Valentino?
Yes.
Mike Cattouli?
Yes.
Cindy Gaibo?
Yes.
Melissa Wendy?
Yes.
Alan Chase?
Yes.
And then we also need to determine the action, if it's type 1, 2, or unlisted. I'm inclined to say it's type 2. It's not going to dramatically change anything there. Relatively small footprint.
Need a motion on that?
I know, is that the motion?
No, I did just mention, I said, we need a motion.
She's asking
Mike,
for a motion.
somebody?
I make a motion that we, classify this as a type 2.
I can second that motion?
Second.
Oh, Alan said.
Well, actually, can I get to?
That's fine.
That's what I thought, and then I heard him.
Yeah,
Okay,
No
we'll-
worries,
we'll put
Alan,
Karen.
thank you.
Karen said it first, so I'll agree. Karen Valentino?
Yes.
Mike Cattouli?
Yes.
Cindy Gaibo? Yes. Melissa Wendy? Alan Chase?
Yes.
Alright, and now we need a motion, if we believe this is a complete application.
Motion to accept it as a completed application.
I second it.
Karen Valentino?
Yes.
Mike Cattouli?
Yes.
Cindy Gaibo? Yes. Melissa Wendy? Yes. Alan Chase?
Yes.
Alright, we can set a motion to set a public hearing for the next meeting.
It's going to be
April 17th.
Motion to set a public hearing for April 17th
At 6 o'clock,
at 6 o'clock.
alright.
I second it.
Karen Valentino?
Yes.
Mike Cattouli?
Yes.
Cindy Gaibo?
Yes.
Melissa Wendy? Yes. Alan Chase?
Yes.
Alright. And you wanna do the basis for consideration next time at the hearing? After we hear, that works for me? Alright. So I think that is, Jean? Jean,
Jeannie,
Jean, thank you, alright.
you all set?
All set for now, so, you need to come, next week, or
Yeah,
not next month, next month. And
April
sit here for
17th.
2 weeks. Next month, during our next meeting, and you caught that, you know, the date is April 17th, 6 o'clock. And,
You probably won't be on at 6 o'clock, but sometime after that.
alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you need me to initial anything?
Yes, you do, thank you for remembering that.
Bye, thank you.
Take care.
Well, it's,
Must've been two
yeah,
seconds.
their papers are correct, I might have made more copies than we need.
My three reminders.
No, I mean, yeah. You know, the whole punch. So,
Sorry, Sue.
she's got a pass to your right.
Finance.
She's already done
Yeah,
Yeah, I think there's extras there.
okay. Okay.
Oh,
So,
the extras.
we have,
Oh, this is my.
we're not dealing with this right now, right? This is just for,
Yeah, I just wanted everyone to have a copy
okay,
of
alright,
that. Replacing
Should
your
be already,
binders.
should be already taken care of, all we have to do is sign it.
okay.
They're already signed.
Alright, we have another application, and it is, from Bell Atlantic, doing business as Verizon. has an application for development, and who here is, hello, welcome, if you wanna come on up a little further.
Absolutely,
Lonnie.
please. So good evening, board. My name is Jeff Wood. I'm here tonight with Verizon Wireless. I'm joined by Colin Jones of Network Building and Consulting, who's a site acquisition specialist for this site. What we're proposing is a 170-foot lattice telecommunications tower, not too different from the one that's outside Town Hall here. It will fit 4 co-locators and Verizon Wireless on that tower, 277 Potter Road. So the purpose of this tower is to relieve coverage and capacity issues that Verizon Wireless has identified in the northeastern portion of this town, as well as in the northwestern portion of the town of Mexico. The parcel that we're on actually is right on the town line with the town of Mexico. So it will, provide, really just improve the ability of people who belong to the Verizon network to be able to do things like make calls, stream video, send text messages, things like that. A little bit about the parcel that we'll be on. It's about 100 acres total. Verizon's leased area on that will be an 80 by 125 foot area. It'll be a fenced area. There will be a chain link fence around the tower to prevent folks from vandalizing or otherwise trespassing on the tower. Will be set back 103 feet from the nearest property line, and the site will be accessed from Potter Road via a 30-foot access and utility easement. 12 feet of that will be for a gravel drive to access the tower and the related equipment itself. We don't anticipate it generating too much traffic, maybe 1 or 2 trips a month to maintain the tower. The tower won't be lit. The only light on the premises itself will be a timed light for, when the maintenance crew goes out there late at night. They'll be able to, look at the equipment boxes and things like that with a timed light that'll go off, I think, 30 minutes after it's activated. So, a pretty low impact project, all things considered. One thing that we are seeking a waiver for, I believe, section 5.55A3 of the site plan regulations, it states that public utility facilities can't be visible from adjacent parcels or abutting parcels. Due to the height of the tower, we will be, but that's one necessary for the project to function as needed, and we've included photo simulations as exhibit M to our application to kind of show what the tower itself will look like, from different points around town. So we're happy to answer any questions you may have about the project.
Can I just get your names again? I'm sorry.
Absolutely, my name is Jeff Twitty.
Jeff Twitty.
Yes.
In other words, Colin Jones. Did I get that one in? Thank you.
And I see you're on that letter, their names are right there, they were CC'd on it from Jared Lux, intro letter.
Thank you.
Okay, good to go.
So you said it's on Potter Road, and according to the map that you included, there are 4 houses nearby, but they're like on George Road? And then the site itself is in between 1 and 3. But it says George Road.
George Road is the name of Verizon's project for the site.
Oh,
That's it.
okay, project name, I thought it was the name of the road then, because there is George Road over there,
Yep.
in
Right.
that area.
And it's not too far from the vicinity map on the front page, George Road, right to the south.
Yeah. But there is a Maple, Matthias has a building, on Potter Road. But you don't have that picture, I don't think.
Yeah, it should be right by the river.
Alright. So it looks like there's a 1-story barn,
Yes.
kind of right
by Potter Road, it looks set back a pretty far distance from where the tower would be. But on sheet CA 100, it shows.
What is the length of the lease, the term?
It's gonna be 25 years, so it's an initial term of 5 years with 4 5-year renewals.
Okay. And I did see you included, some of the information to show that it's considered a utility, similar cases that,
Correct.
where there have been resistance, but that this is a need, and you, demonstrated, certainly that that area lacks coverage.
Well, it just so happens on map ZA 100, I'm listed that, even though you
Oh.
spelled my name wrong.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that.
Matthias is right behind me, but by what he's saying is he's putting that, Matthias owns all of this, like 100 acres, like he's saying.
Okay.
And where he's gonna put it is on Potter Road. So I just a little point here.
Okay.
So I don't know if I should be involved in this. I don't know what.
Where are you sitting?
On VA 100, it's just that my name is spelled wrong.
Oh.
See my piece right there?
I think you're more than 1,000 feet away from the property.
Yeah, I don't, I'm.
Yeah, away from the property, yeah.
So it's more than, it's just your name is on there because you're in that circle.
Right, I understand, I just wanted people to be aware
Okay.
that that's near me.
Yep.
And Matthias's property is right behind,
Okay.
but where they're putting it is on Potter Road.
Is this the property behind you, is that the same parcel?
Yes.
What they're building on?
Yes,
So you probably will be considered
right.
within 1,000 feet because it'll go through the entire property, not
Well, I
just-
thought I'd get a letter, but I'm not so sure it's, cause the
No,
building, or the tower is gonna be down, according to this, down here.
Right.
Not
Right,
here.
But when I put it in, it's gonna take, it'll do 1,000 feet
Okay.
from that parcel, so if this parcel is the same one
Well,
that they're building on.
Matthias is like 200 feet behind me.
Yeah. So you'll probably come up on there, but I don't think that'd be, I mean, that would be up there with that, but I don't think.
Yeah, I
you'd have
don't
to
think,
repeat
I mean,
yourself.
if you, because of the size of the parcel and the irregular shape of the parcel,
I just want you to be aware. Yeah, there's the one-story metal barn that, is on Super Power Road. So what is the distance away from the one-story metal barn that this tower is gonna be put?
Well over 100 feet. I didn't see that distance on our plans. It's quite a distance. See if I can estimate something through all.
What do you see that on? The next-
110.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like it'd be at least 200 feet.
Oh, you see the color right here? This color?
So what do you say, it's gonna be?
Yeah, so you're talking about this to this, and there is a scale on here, so I think that's gonna be, yeah, probably more like 300 feet. Right. Or it's just top of that out.
How long did you say the access road was again?
I'm sorry?
How long did you say the access road was?
We haven't mentioned that.
feet, I can tell you it's 30 feet wide, I mean, just using scale, say about 200 feet wide.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, the road itself would be 12 feet, but the right of way, which including the utilities, would be 7 feet.
Okay.
There's a lot to look at.
Yes, there
I don't,
is.
I don't know if, one evening is gonna be.
Is there to the east of where the tower is located on the adjacent parcel, are there any structures?
There is a residence on the property to the east,
Okay,
and I took a measurement, it's approximately 260 feet from the tower to the residence, but that's not included on the site plan.
okay.
And the tower is gonna be 174 feet
Correct, with the lightning rod.
with a lightning rod. Galvanized steel, I'm saying too,
Yes.
any lighting?
No lighting, just that one
Yeah,
light.
he
by
said
the-
just a time light.
Security cameras or anything like that? I know you said a fencing for security.
Typically, I'm not aware of, Verizon installing security cameras there.
Okay.
Usually the fence is enough to make sure.
Okay.
How much traffic will be coming in for
I'd say about 1 or 2 maintenance trucks a month
a
maximum.
month?
Once construction is complete.
Right, right. How long will it take to get it,
Typically about 1 to 3 months, depending on the
1 to
building
3 months?
connection is complete.
kind of in the season too?
Yes, yes.
And there's gonna be a washout, a pump contaminated water into concrete washout.
That's with the plan or something, and that's the last page, okay.
Concrete washout.
The foundation. I don't think that applies here.
Well, depends on if concrete's gonna be poured.
I assume it's gonna be poured for the foundation, but
Yeah.
for the tower itself.
Yeah, the size does maple syrup, that's that building.
What's the overhead line? I'm just being curious.
Say it again?
I said, what is the overhead line? It says maple syrup overhead line.
Probably sap.
It is, yeah, it's,
So it's just a line that runs the
there's
sap
blue
right
lines
through?
all the way,
Oh.
they're piping all the way through on his property.
They don't take them all down anymore.
No, they
What's
do
that?
not.
They don't take them all
No.
down anymore, they leave them up.
They leave them up,
Just
he
put one
leaves them up.
plastic tag
And he
down.
has another building in the back too.
I know which my trees are too. My sister's tapping my nut trees. Makes syrup, nut syrup. It's pretty good. Yeah, butter, it's got like a butter flavor.
I don't know, I think we need to, quite lengthy to look through.
So, just looking through, looks like you guys did a study of how
our site plan laws, and you've answered every single one. Many of them say no response needed, or not applicable, or you will comply.
That's correct.
So when we boil all that down, what do you need a variance from us for? You mentioned it earlier, but it sounds like there's only 2 or 3 things, right?
Sure. Yep, so I don't think we're looking for a variance here, I think what we're looking for primarily is a site plan approval, to allow the, this public utility facility to be in the town. I guess the closest thing to a variance that we'd be looking for is a waiver from those things that aren't applicable, and also from that, 5.55A3 requirement that says that public utilities can't be visible from adjacent lots.
So that's the only 5.5, whatever that is, that's the only line item in here that you guys are not in compliance with.
That is correct.
And then it needed to be referred to the county, you said, I think because it was so close to the Mexico?
Yes, and we're in agricultural area as well, so there's an agricultural data statement, through this exhibit of the PCO.
So you'll want to notify, this will be the 239 referral of Mexico, agri markets, residents that he's identified, the DAC. I pulled up just the map in, I think it was on ImageMe, clicking on wetlands and historic properties, and there was a property across the street that pops up as a historical parcel. I didn't see, there's one box on the EAF that wasn't checked in regards to that, and I don't know if that's why it didn't pop up.
And then section H.
It was,
So if there's a historical parcel, what do we do?
it's a referral to SHPO. I gotta find which question it was. I think you have marked no, and when I did the EAF mapper, it wasn't an auto-populated field, I think it was E on page 13.
On, 143 in,
It is.
104, Watson's,
Oh, let me look at that. I highlighted the text map.
there's a tower over there too.
Yeah. Do you want all of it? This is, do you want me to?
Yeah, it's across, Cindy, it's across from the, other butcher.
Can you guys do without me for a second?
Polterac. It's a large parcel. Should have printed out.
On the map? Does it show up here on this map?
No,
Okay.
it's, across the road, on the other side of the road, it's this one.
So how would that affect this
Oh.
project?
It's just, it would be,
If it's across the road?
and I don't know, you agree or disagree, you just have to do another referral
I
to,
see, okay.
And I guess
But I don't-
go ahead.
oh no, and that's just, I mean, those are my thoughts, you can agree or disagree with me on that one, just when I clicked on historical, it's on the other side of the street, it's.
So she's saying it would be right over here?
So it would be substantially contiguous to the across the street.
I'll just.
Oh, that's her, because she was looking something up, but I think she's saying it's right here. And that there might be a historical, but, and I think she was put it separately, so is this, like, we have additional archaeological department site?
Okay, yeah, and see what they do. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There was like a landfill.
Here, can't see it.
Oh, so it's to the west.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yes.
is.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's across from town.
Just to cut it up in pieces.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's also
determined over there, Rebecca?
Oh, he's gonna talk to the engineer.
Okay.
But our engineers put together the EAF
Yeah.
for us and, you know, see all the triggers that we set off as far as, you know, ag data statements, 239M. So we'll check in about that as well. and see if
Okay.
those will fire.
So there may be this historical, you said a referral to SHPO. But what did you say it was?
We send that all together.
What, I guess, yeah, what is there that is a
Oh,
historical interest?
it's, when you click on the parcel, if you click on the wetlands, so it shows the wetlands, when you click on the historical
Okay,
sites, that's one, actually, there was some other ones farther away, but it pops up on that.
okay.
Cause there was, on that road, there was like a landfill type of thing, many years ago.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was cleaned up and, I don't even know who owned it now.
Did you look through that? The potential sites?
Oh, let's see. So, Lee Road, which is over there. Well, which is not.
Oh, okay.
It's on Page Road.
Premium property.
Farming.
I see.
I see you have, and you provided information about an estimate for removal of the tower at the expiration of the lease, or if you abandon it. Have you had to remove any of your towers? Probably not, right, at this point?
Not for any of the sites that, but, no.
I assume, and that's in the lease, I assume.
Under exhibit J, we've got information in there, so what you would do when you get to that point, you have to put the bond for
Okay.
removal, so they give, upfront, they give us an estimate of, at least today, whatever it costs to
Here we are.
remove it,
Okay.
so we don't end up having abandoned cell towers, just so you know.
You're fine.
On this, overall site plan, what do you estimate trees you might be removing for the site itself?
So, I don't have a number of, you know, how many trees that we would disturb. You know, Verizon typically does like to retain as many trees as possible, just to have a buffer for the tower. You know, it's really not in their best interest to just, you know, lay everything out. I will say, it's well under an acre of the amount of land that will be disturbed. Yeah, 0.47 acres, that's all we'll be disturbing, so, you know,
Well,
bigger
it
than
looks,
that.
looks like this map, that a lot of it looks like field, Cindy, can you?
Yeah.
A lot of it's field, okay.
Okay.
Well, there's houses, there's a house right next.
On this, in this area here, this looks like it's all field. He's got trees.
Oh,
trees.
yeah, that part, yeah,
Okay,
that's the maple tree.
okay. So it looks like the majority of it's field.
No, LaFont's already put them, so.
So you would just be removing it, what is it, DN 110, where it says woods, you would just be removing those portions within the lease site.
Sorry, those portions of woods you mean? Those, we would just be removing those portions of what? I'm looking at the A110 right now.
Where it says woods, when Mike was asking about removal of trees or anything, if you were going to do anything, it would just be in that small area.
Yep, so in that lease site, it also looks like there's a bit of woods that extends into where Verizon's easement would be.
Mhm.
So those, some of those may be trimmed or cut as well. But you know, everything outside of that area should remain undisturbed.
Is this in the packet? Yeah. Oh. Yes, you got it. So, is it, customers would complain we don't have coverage, is how this comes onto your radar in the first place to go there, or if there's some other method?
So typically what Verizon does is they'll, you know, send someone out to drive really, you know, across the state and, you know, through, you know, a lot of back roads and a lot of places throughout the state. And they will measure, how good or how poor their cellular service is within a given location. So, and, you know, they'll take that data and, you know, kind of pinpoint what they call search rings of, you know, areas of poor coverage that it identifies, and within those search rings, you know, they'll kind of go through one by one, you know, parcels that would be, appropriate to, you know, put a cell tower on to, you know, relieve some of the capacity and coverage issues that it faces. So, you know, it's pretty long and drawn out process.
I see.
How the exact work goes, what.
Oh, it's in the old person.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
were you thinking of starting this if it was approved after a hearing?
We're not exactly sure, you know, if I had to say, I'd say within the year, but you know, typically they don't look for approvals or any more than, I'd say, a year and a half out.
Are there other places that they're, looking into as well at the same time?
Typically, we did a couple of projects in the rec field recently, you know, within the county, I'm not sure, you know, how close that would be to here. And you know, there are some other projects in the, you know, Constantia area,
Okay.
so, you know, yeah.
Very similar to what solar did.
Sure.
And how long is the construction period?
About 1 to 3 months.
You don't have a cost at this point, says to be determined.
It's to be determined.
And I saw in here, trying to locate it again, where they identified the hours of operation in the sense of during the construction of the project. I think it was it 7 to 6, I think. I'll put it attachment, so.
Yes, I'm just trying to, that's that area, so I can confirm that for you.
Alright, so page 7 of 13 on the wrong environmental form. HGL, hours of operation, Monday through Friday, and this is just construction, 7 AM to 6 PM. Saturday, 7 AM to 6 PM, and then, not on Sundays or holidays. Section H, 7 of 13.
Our initial phase one, environmental report indicated that there were wetlands to the south and northwest, but they're over 0.2 miles from the proposed lease area and not of concern.
Okay,
But no evidence of wetland conditions on the property.
okay, and you said wetlands to the, which way, directions?
To the south and northwest.
The northwest, and what was the distance again, 0.2?
Said 2 miles.
Yes,
miles?
ma'am, over 0.2 miles,
Over,
0.2.
that's what I thought you said, 0.2.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Every time we have to make the referral to the DEC. for those
Okay.
applications.
Did you say you're gonna do, 239, for the county?
Yeah, I did, it would be the 239, you have to notify the town of Mexico, send it to Happy Markets. They have a list of people that need to be sent notice, and they have a proposed notice in their packet, and DEC. So you've got to notify all these people and get their feedback on all of this.
And who has to notify them?
I can send out the notification packets, and I think they provided a packet for the county. DEC, you can submit electronically, and everyone has to weigh in on wetlands, ag and markets.
Do we have to table this until that's done?
Well, no, that's part of, once you deem it complete, then you do the referrals. At that point, after you determine that the application is complete. I don't know if you feel comfortable doing that, if you've looked at all of this. On your other towers, do you have co-location from other companies?
Commonly, yes, so.
Okay. So that would potentially benefit.
Yep, it's better for all parties. I think there's room for 4 on this tower.
revisit this at the next meeting and do a complete, see if you have any other questions. That's up to you.
Yes, we do that. Okay, if you have any questions for the next meeting.
And then I can follow up with you about to go and
Yep, we can. And, cause
Write down any questions we have.
it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, just write down any questions you think of while reviewing it, so then put them in and then we could better do it.
A lot of information, and it's really good
That's a lot.
information, it's very,
Very thorough.
thorough as far as putting things together. But it is a lot to digest, and a little bit of a learning curve here, or maybe bigger learning curve. But it would, I think we all feel much more comfortable with being able to look again at it, next month, and we'll see if there's any questions, still remain, and,
Are there any questions at this point about the completeness of the application, or anything that you all think of that we would need to submit in addition forward?
that is a great question,
Yeah, that
I
is a
think.
good question.
I think there's a lot of information there.
Do you see, I mean,
I can't see anything.
yeah,
Yeah, I can jump out to anybody that maybe you didn't see that we will need, so we don't have to
Yep.
tell them next time that we need something else.
you answered my question.
so I guess, I mean,
I mean, I
do
guess
we
you
need to
want-
find,
I mean, it's up to you if you can
Whether they-
follow, or if you wanted to,
no,
so you can have a chance to look at it
Yeah,
and make sure.
I mean,
you're
the
not
only thing is, do you
missing
have
anything.
contact information for them, that if someone while reviewing does think of something that we
Absolutely.
need?
Mhm.
So if you guys while reviewing see anything that's missing, let Rebecca know and then she can reach out to them.
so I didn't know, Rebecca, if you wanted them to get the information on the potential historic site, or?
Yeah, he was,
Okay.
they were talking to the
Okay.
engineers, cause the engineers are the ones that
Okay,
generate
gotcha,
that. And we would contact you, not Jared, you would be in contact.
Yep, so it could be either me or Jared if I'm not available for some reason, and both work.
I make a motion that we, table the, application. Yeah, I think it's the right word here,
So,
till next meeting.
the Verizon application here, and I think that is fine, I'll second that.
Karen Valentino?
Yes.
Mike Cattouli?
Yes.
Cindy Geiger? Yes. Melissa Woody?
Yes.
And Helen Chase.
Yes.
Thank you, board.
All right, thank you. Hopefully it stops snowing, and you're right home.
You too, be safe.
What is he lecturing you, what did he say?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, more than 10 days, I was thinking about a month before the Saturday.
We wanted, I can table the site plan review at this point, as it's, late in the
Yeah,
day.
as we had, you guys had said before, once we get 8 o'clock, so, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
obviously it's up to you if you wanna stay,
It
but.
just re-emphasizes my, desire to make a recommendation to change that 100-foot setback from the lake, to the town board, if we could move on that one, so that we don't have to sit there holding our breath to hope people have the right distance. So, just saying, yeah, saying, yeah, and then maybe we wouldn't even have to have the, just
deal with the building inspector. Here is a certificate of training thing. Good job.
Thank you. It was with the wetlands. Speaking of those wetlands, I did, yep, I did that.
And I also got the other one.
Thing, and it basically was saying that they're going to change the mapping and update all the wetlands, webinar. Did you attend it too?
Well, I signed up for it, and for somehow they didn't send it to me, so
Oh.
I tried to get onto it, and they.
Okay, so, basically saying a lot of the, there's questionable area of, reliability to the current DEC, wetland, nomenclature or the maps, and, so they basically could be challenged, and, they have, hired, people at Cornell to redo all of the system, and it's gonna be updated so that people can, access it. The DEC people are gonna use that updated Cornell system to do their, assessments, and so they're not gonna do a lot of going to the sites and looking at it, they're gonna rely on what the system that Cornell is developing. So it's not done yet, and there was some changes in the acreage for what's considered a wetland and things like that, that I can't remember, it was gonna go from like 14 acres to 7, and, so anyway, so those were the take homes, but it sounds like a system in, I don't know how long it's gonna take, a year or so, will be very accurate and reliable, that we can go take a look at. Thank you, I do need it. All right, do our homework. Oh, I was thinking that we could put holes in this. How about both? There were questions in the long environmental assessment I don't think I've ever seen, well, I know we have seen them with the solar plant, or the, Dollar General. It's been a long time.
So sad, I missed that one. Oh, we did it.
Yes, let's adjourn the meeting. Motion, anyone?
I don't mention to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Eight.